in 1920, but it changed everything. In fact, Prohibition came in after that, right? Do you know the Democrats in Congress are opposing the Save America Act? Do you know that the Democrats opposed women getting the vote in 1920, including Woodrow Wilson was opposed to it? Did you guys know that? Yeah. The suffragettes, they were all Republicans. A lot of people don't know that because liberals write the history books and lie to you and don't want you to know certain things. But yeah, the Democrats opposed giving women the vote. But before women could vote in 1920, black men have had the right to vote longer than women in this country. And yeah, I know, isn't that crazy? So the Democrats are always opposing democracy and freedom and things like this. The Democrats were against freeing the slaves. The Democrats were against giving women the vote. And now Democrats are in favor of having illegal aliens, fictitious people, and dead people voting. Okay, so they're on the wrong side of history yet again. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to some calls in a bit. But this is important stuff. So when I tell you that, in my opinion, this is the most important legislation passed in my lifetime, and when it comes to voting rights, the most important legislation since women were given the vote 106 years ago, even bigger than the Civil Rights and the Voting Rights Act, because, when the Voting Rights Act and everything was passed, black men and women did have the right to vote, and in most of the country, they didn't have problems. They only had problems in the Democrat-controlled South, where they would do all these ridiculous things like, and you've heard the stories, like they would have to take social studies exams or something before they could vote. And even if they got the questions right, they would say they got them wrong, But that was only in Southern Democrat Jim Crow states. And the rest of the country, where Republicans ruled things, blacks didn't have a problem with voting. It was only in the Democrat areas. So I don't want to say that the Voting Rights Act and such weren't good things at the time. They were, but they're nowhere near as important as the Save America Act. The Save America Act, everyone, all voters and all American citizens are disenfranchised by the current system we have. And the Democrats are in a complete panic. So there's one thing about the Save America Act that no one's talking about that I'm going to share with you. Now, you all know this. The Save America Act requires government-issued photo ID to vote. Right? It requires proof of U.S. citizenship to register to vote. You all know that, right? Well, here's something you don't know, probably. If you listened to my podcast yesterday, you would know in the afternoon, because I did mention this on my podcast yesterday, but I didn't get into it in too much detail. But here's the other thing. No one who is registered to vote will be unregistered when the act passes. But here's what's going to happen. This is something in the Save America Act that no one is talking about. Part of it is this. The Save America Act, when it is the law of the land, and I believe it will be, they're going to connect the voter registrations to the Social Security office. They're going to run the Social Security numbers through the database of voters in the Save America Act when it's law. They're going to do a Social Security number check. Everyone has a Social Security number. That's a U.S. citizen, right? Everyone. It used to be when I was a kid, you didn't get a Social Security card or even a number until you started working. Now they give it to you like when you're born. So what's that going to do? They're going to find out how many dead people are registered to vote, how many fictitious people, and how many illegals, and they're going to be purged right then and there. And that's why when you see Dollar Store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries on television, he looks physically ill. Now, what percentage of the registered voters, in particular in the blue states, fit these categories. I don't know. You don't know either. We could guess and have all kinds of numbers, but you know what? President Trump knows, the Trump administration knows, and the Republicans know. And you know what? The Democrats know too. That's why they're freaking out. And John Thune did something yesterday, which I'm going to play for you when we get back. And this all relies on him. So we'll hear from the president. We'll hear from Thune. I'm going to talk about this filibuster thing because no one really knows how the filibuster works. And that's okay. You're not supposed to know. The senators don't even know. It's very confusing. They don't want any of us to know. You know why? Because if nobody knows really how it works, they can say it works any way they want and do it, right? Well, that's not going to happen in this instance. And when we get back, I'll explain to you why. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. However, I am going to go through some things before I go to the calls because the Save America Act is so important. I want to get this stuff out. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Adam Zuckerman with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, and that simple secret could change the rest of your life. So stop yo-yo dieting and let's reset your metabolism naturally, safely, and effectively. Go to coastalweightloss.secret.com to schedule your free consultation. That's coastalweightloss.secret.com.
Hey, it's Brian Craig. Thanks to Dr. Zuckerman at Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I'm in the best shape I've been in decades. He makes it so easy. No exercise is required. And none of those prepackaged meals either, like bars or shakes. And my favorite part? No drugs or injections with the risk of serious side effects. If you're looking to lose weight and keep it on for good, then look no further than Coastal Weight Loss Secret and their Metabolic Reset Program. You can lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. Schedule your free consultation now by calling 561-247-6300, 561-247-6300, or coastalweightloss.secret.com. That's coastalweightloss.secret.com. Results may vary. Open enrollment may be over, but that doesn't mean your Medicare questions are. If you're new to Medicare, moving, or qualifying for a special enrollment period, you may still have options. Don't guess when it comes to your healthcare coverage. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors at 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. She'll walk you through your Medicare Advantage, your supplements, and your prescription drug plans. Then help you find coverage that fits your needs and your budget. You don't have to figure this out alone. Call Debbie today at 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you with your Medicare no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. I Will Advisors, helping you make Medicare simple.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954 977-9445. Thank you.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. Calls on hold, stand by. 17 minutes after the hour. It is Friday, and I was just listening to Friendly Mike with his own commercial there with Friendly Tire. Remember, Friendly Tire, which is open on Saturdays. They do tire repairs like he did with me a couple weeks ago. Oh, man, did he save me. Any other tire shop in town would have told me I needed a new tire, not that the valve stem was broken and had to be replaced, which he repaired and replaced it for me. But remember, Friendly Tire, you can get new tires as low as $75 a tire out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. He also has thousands of good used tires in stock for as low as $35 a tire. Give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. Okay, so let me share. This is President Trump yesterday. He's talking about the SAVE Act in the Senate.
The Save America Act is one of our plans. It's voter ID. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. We want no transgender mutilization of your children. We don't want transgender mutilization. That's number. We want no men and women in sports. That's number one. And we don't want to have mail-in voting. Where the votes go, where the hell do they come from? So we do that. It's 5 things. They're all 99%. They say, oh, that's an 80% issue, like voter ID. No, I think it's a 99. I think the Democrats have it at 87%. The leadership doesn't want it. Why don't you want voter ID?
Okay, now, before I get to that, why do you... You know, I've been talking about the Save America Act for the last 2 weeks. We've had a lot of Democrats, a lot of liberals, a lot of never-Trumpers calling the show. Not one of them has addressed that issue. Not one. They want to talk about everything but. Because there's no argument against government-issued photo ID to vote or proof of citizenship to register to vote.
Ready? Because you want to cheat. Okay? Blame it on all sorts of things. They came up, they said it's racist. They came up with things that you have to say their imagination is great. No, we're not going to let them cheat like they did in a certain election that we won't talk about. But that election was, and they cheat now. Look, we're not going to let it happen. So we're going to go get the Save America Act, not the SAVE Act. Nobody knew what the SAVE Act meant. The SAVE Act, what save what? Save America Act. And we're going to do everything we can. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe we're having a hard time. I think anybody that votes against it shouldn't be allowed to run for office. You want to know that too.
Exactly. So anyone who doesn't vote against it is going to run them out of office. So then yesterday, Thune, who's the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, he talked about what's going on next in the Senate, because he's the Majority Leader. Let me play this. I would not normally play something like this, but it's important for you to hear it. Okay, so this is Thune yesterday in the Senate.
Later today, we will finish up the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, the latest piece of legislation in Republicans' affordability agenda. And next week, I will be bringing the Save America Act to the floor, and we will be having a full and robust debate. So, Mr. President, what is the Save America Act? It is a package of common sense policies, the kind of common sense policies that should get an automatic yes vote from literally every member of this body. At the core of the Save America Act is the requirement that individuals provide proof of citizenship to register to vote, and then show an ID when they go to the polls. In other words, it would require Americans to demonstrate that they're eligible to vote and that they are who they say they are when they go to do so.
Okay, now that's the beginning. Now there's Thune. He makes the right case, right? So here's my question to you. Do you believe that Thune supports the Save America Act? Because I'm hearing him make the case for it. You know, I don't know him personally. I haven't even heard him talk too much, to tell you the truth. been paying a lot of attention to him lately. But does he sound sincere to you? He sounds sincere to me. Now, he could be the world's best liar, but he sounds pretty sincere there to me. Right? He made the case. He sounds like he believes it.
Not to keep using the word common sense, but it's pretty common sense, right? We require photo ID for a whole lot of things in this country for obvious reasons. Getting on a plane, show your official government-issued photo ID. Go to the doctor, same thing. Provide your government-issued photo ID plus your insurance card. Get hired for a new job. Provide your government-issued photo ID when you start. Mr. President, public libraries ask for a photo ID. In New York City, you have to provide some type of photo ID to get a library card. Baltimore, Maryland, same thing. Washington, D.C., again, photo ID. Mr. President, I'll stop with the list of libraries, but I think we can all agree that if you have to show photo ID and prove where you live to get a library card, it's not too much to ask voters to show ID to vote in federal elections.
So far, does he sound convincing to you? Do you believe John Thune? Now he's going to go through what is going to happen in the Senate next week.
It takes about 10 seconds and protects the security of our elections. Mr. President, Americans overwhelmingly agree that voters should have to show ID at the polls. 83% of Americans, 83% in an August 2025 poll supported requiring photo ID at the polls for all voters. That includes 71% of Democrats, 76% of Black Americans, 77% of Asian Americans, and 82% of Hispanic Americans. It kind of feels like the only Americans not to support voter ID requirements are Democrats here in Congress. That's right. We're expecting continued full-throated opposition to voter ID and the Save America Act from Senate Democrats, as well as more of the unforgivable rhetoric that Democrats have already been engaging in. The Democrat leader has been calling this bill Jim Crow 2.0.
See, I mean, everything he's going through, point by point, is everything that everyone, including President Trump, has said about the Save America Act. Now, he's going to get into what their plans are in the Senate.
A phrase that is not only deeply irresponsible and insulting to those who actually lived through that dark chapter of history, but also insults the overwhelming majority of Americans, including minorities, who look at voter ID and see nothing more than common sense. In fact, Mr. President, I can really see only two reasons for Democrats opposing this legislation. Either Democrats are just reflexively opposing this proposal because it originated from Republicans, or Democrats believe that there are, in fact, people out there voting illegally and that it's benefiting Democrats. And they want to keep it going. I honestly cannot think of another reason to oppose something so eminently reasonable as requiring people to demonstrate that they're eligible to vote and that they are who they say they are when they go to the polls. Now, Mr. President, I'll have a lot more to say about the Save America Act next week, including about two other common sense measures in the bill that would prevent biological males from competing in women's sports and protect minors from gender transition procedures. Two other things I should note that are supported by the American people. Mr. President, I can't guarantee an outcome on this legislation, but I can guarantee that we are going to put Democrats on the record. They will be forced to defend their outrageous positions on these issues and explain to the American people why common sense and the Democratic Party have parted ways. Mr. President, Republicans are looking forward to this debate.
Okay. Now, what he said is, instead, the way that this works, I get in the details on this filibuster thing. I know this is not maybe something I would normally talk, but I am going to because it has to be talked about. There's a lot of misinformation going on out there. But right now, everything at this moment relies on Thune, and I believe him. Now, if we find out down the road that he's a creep and a very good liar, okay, I'll be wrong. It's okay. But he sounds pretty convincing to me because he's too passionate and detailed about it. And now this debate that's going to happen next week. All right, I'm going to take the break for the bottom of the hour. I'm going to break on time, come back and talk about that and why that's the right thing to do. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. If you'd like to call in, the number is 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Great again.
Low of 75 degrees.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Traffic still appears to be at a standstill northbound I-95 between 10th Avenue North and Forest Hill Boulevard due to an earlier tractor-trailer fatality accident. Delays start back beyond Lantana Road, Congress Avenue, US 1 or the Turnpike are your alternates. Spots opening on the roads, call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic. I'm Ron Hersey.
That's your traffic brought to you by PBKC. Get your Irish on March 17th in the paddock with the St. Patrick's Day party featuring Tracy Sands and Rod McDonald, an all-you-can-eat Irish buffet featuring all your favorite Irish foods, and the Tear to Grin dancers are back. The fun continues with Studio 54 and the Reaction Band dinner and show on April 10th. Get your shot at thrilling daily poker high hands tournaments, exciting table games, and non-stop OTV action from all the top tracks. Get all the details now at pbkennelclub.com.
Retiring in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, at any point in your life, or are you already retired? Listen, economically, it's a mess with the stock market ups and downs and inflation out of control. In fact, it's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 20 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with him. You know Joe and Jenny from right here on True Oldies. He's the host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show, and he's been doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation too. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
Hi, it's Dr. Philip Appleton. You've been hearing my commercials about bye-bye pain, my laser weight treatment, but today's commercial and today's spot is going to be on Tom Laporta, Laporta Roofing. What an experience I've had with him and his company. They've done a few of my friends' houses and my son and my house. There's never a downtime. They're old school, which means call them up, they'll be there. How many times have you called somebody up and they never show up? They give an excuse. Weather, traffic, whatever. Tom Laporta, what a class act. The workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Give Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing a call. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. 954-604-4602. LaportaRoofing.com. They'll never sell you a roof you don't need.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years on the air.
All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Good morning. Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, so, yeah, I agree with you. The Save America Act is ultra important. But the reason I wanted to call in, and maybe we can tie it back to it, is, I don't see this war in Iran, I don't see it as a product of us being at war with Iran, because I honestly think we're going to destroy them. I think if we were united, if we were given full reign, and we were able to do everything we needed to do, it's just a foregone conclusion. They're going to be destroyed, and we're going to have nothing about it. The only opposition that we're actually facing is Democrats. We're at war with the Democrats in a metaphorical sense, just to be clear, because they're the ones pushing out all this propaganda, like you said, Tokyo Rose, where they're trying to demoralize us. They're trying to pressure Trump by constantly talking about oil prices, even though it's only been like 9 or something days. It's the one issue that they hammer, because they know if they scare him enough and his cabinet members enough, and some of his cabinet members are trying to persuade him to end it because they're getting all panicking about the midterms, then they can make it look as though Trump has failed here, and then they can point to him and say, look what a disaster it is. So we're not really at war with Iran. We're at war with the oppositions within our own country, and mainly the Democratic Party and the Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and Candace Owens factions, who are also trying to demoralize the population. But I think it comes back to what you're saying about the SAVE Act. It's like, once again, we have these solutions to these problems. The only thing that is stopping us is people who benefit from us not actually solving them. And I know you think you trust Thune, but honestly, I don't trust this guy. If Democrats were in power, they would find a way. They would find a way.
Well, I want to get into the details about it, about why I'm trusting him, and I'm going to trust him until he betrays us, okay? He hasn't betrayed us yet on this, and I agree with the way he's going about it, but after we're done talking, I'll get into that. What percentage of Congress would not be there if the SAVE Act were in effect, would you guess? The Democrats, of course. What percentage of the Democrats would not be in Congress if the SAVE Act passes?
I think we'd get about 8 to 15 seats back. I think
that's a very conservative. I would estimate 30 to 40% minimum of the Democrats in government would not hold their offices if the SAVE Act were in effect.
That's bold. I mean, no matter what, it would be amazing, because we would definitely have a real majority. But it's going to be a matter. We're going to win seats. It's just a matter of degree. I know a lot of it comes down to fraud, but you also got to take into account the census as well, because some of the illegals are counted on the census, and so they would still be counted on the census.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats would still get the seats. But I agree with you. The SAVE Act is so important because it would establish a real representative.
I give you an example. Here in Florida, they've just passed our own version of the SAVE Act, and DeSantis is going to sign it. If you go to the retirement communities like Century Village, most of the voting's done absentee by the aides to the senior citizens, right? You understand what I mean? So all these things are going to, as an example, you're in Pompano, right? Democrat Broward County. With the SAVE Act in effect, Broward County would go Republican. Might take a couple of elections, but it'll become a Republican county. Palm Beach, too.
I know. That would be amazing. And I think Democrats do the opposite, where Republican states are going to bolster the laws that we have. Democrats are going to, California, are going to do away with the voter ID.
I don't know why you sound so depressed. You don't sound motivated. You sound very negative. You sound like Richie the bus driver in your mood on this. You don't think it's going to pass.
I have faith in Trump. I don't have faith in the do-nothing Congress and the do-nothing Senate.
Well, it's already passed the House.
Yeah, I know, but look where we're at. He's not even committing to a filibuster. He's committing to a debate, Brian.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the best.
No, put Democrats on record. We know what their record.
No. Well, listen. I'm gonna let you go, and I'll explain why it's good. Okay. Okay. All right. So turn the radio back up. Okay. Okay. So the filibuster. Let me tell you what the filibuster is and what it's become, real quick, and then I'll tell you why what Thune is saying is going to happen next week is better. It used to be, the filibuster used to be a senator would have to talk nonstop. They couldn't stop talking okay? And, you know, everybody keeps talking about Mr. Smith Goes to Hollywood. Am I the only one that has not seen Mr. Smith Goes to Hollywood? I mean, I know the famous scene, and I've seen the clips of Jimmy Stewart. I've never seen the movie. Maybe I'll watch it this weekend. Is it worth watching? But the two famous filibusters are the fictitious one in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and the Strom-Thurmond one in the 50s, okay? And Strom-Thurmond, since that's a real one, I'll talk about it. Now, one thing they're not telling you, Strom-Thurmond's 24-hour filibuster was his opposition to the Civil Rights Act. And you've been hearing that all the last couple days, right? You know what they're not telling you? When Strom-Thurmond stood up again for that 24-hour filibuster against the Civil Rights Act, Eisenhower was president, Republican, and Strom-Thurmond was a Democrat. They're not telling people that. They want you to think he was a Republican then. No, he became one later when he wised up and grew up. But anyway, the way the filibuster worked when Eisenhower did that in the 50s is you had to talk nonstop. You couldn't stop talking. You cannot lean against a chair, a desk, a table, a podium, nothing. You can't lean on anything. You also can't leave to even go to the bathroom. That's it. You know, it got so bad with Strom-Thurmond. This is a true story. They had a bucket for him to pee in, and they had it behind a curtain right off the Senate floor. And when he had to go to the bathroom, he would step partially behind this curtain, keep talking while he was urinating, but he would have his one foot out. This is true. I'm not making this up. He had his one foot outside of the curtain on the Senate floor while he was talking. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's how it happened. What the Democrats haven't filibustered anything with the Save America Act. What they've done is threatened a filibuster. We're going to do it. But they're not doing it. They're just threatening a filibuster. So not this talking thing. They're not going to do all of that. They're not even suggesting that. They're just threatening a filibuster. Now, the legislation, no matter what, only needs 51 votes to pass. To end a filibuster, you need 60 votes. So what Thune is doing is awesome. This is great. He said, we already know what they think. Well, you know, and I know. By the way, do you know, what's the name of the new head coach for the Dolphins? You know, what about the quarterback? They got a new quarterback they named yesterday. What, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, I have no idea. But if you follow the Dolphins, you know. I know there's a new quarterback. I saw him yesterday. He doesn't look like Dan Marino. I tell you that guy. He didn't dress up either. I saw the press conference. I can't remember his name. I saw the coach. I don't remember his name. But if you follow it, you know, right? Right, Mike? If you know it. Well, a lot of people know that there's a Save America Act going on. They know the Democrats are against it and the Republicans are for it, but they don't know the details of what the debate's really about. They know as much about the Save America Act as I knew about the new Dolphins quarterback. By the way, do they got a new receiver? Because you got to have that's important too. How many times, I tell you, I used to watch football a lot. I joke around, I don't like sports. I do like football. I just don't watch it too much anymore because the Dolphins have been a Super Bowl in my life. Well, I guess I was a baby. But anyway, I remember when Dan Marino, you wouldn't hear him. You would just see his lips. He would throw a great pass. No one would catch it, and you'd see him dropping the F-bombs, moving his lips all the time. Yeah, I know. Hopefully that won't happen with this guy. But anyway, that's how the SAVE Act is. Ben from Pompano, you guys that listen to me, I know all about this stuff, but most people don't because they don't follow it as closely as you and I do. So the Save America Act, over 70% of African Americans support it. Over 80% of Latinos support it. 80% of Democrats as a whole support it. Over 90% of Republicans support it. And about 83% overall of all voters support it. Pretty high numbers, right? Even with the vast majority, 80%, maybe even 83% of Democrats support the Save America Act. The Democrats in Congress are opposed to it, or at least in the Senate, because they know what it'll mean to them personally. So In the last 2 weeks, since I've been talking about, just think about yesterday's show. I've been talking about the Save America Act for 2 weeks. I've gotten numerous calls from liberals. They want to talk about everything but. I'll even ask them to try to get into it. They won't even talk about the Save America Act. And I'll tell you what, if you want to prove me wrong, Democrats, liberals, never Trumpers, call me now on the program and make your case why government-issued photo ID should not be required to vote and proof of citizenship should not be required to register to vote. I'd like to hear your argument. When this debate happens in the Senate, it's going to be carried live on all the news and live streaming all over the internet. It's going to go viral. And these Democrats are going to have to get up there on national television and live streaming going viral all over the internet and tell the American people why it's a bad thing. They're going to look like a bunch of clowns. And that's better than just forcing a vote. Let them discredit themselves first. And you know what? We're going to peel away some of those Democrats on our side when it's done. So they're going to do themselves in when they go up there and try to make a case against it because there's no credible case. The other thing, we have public opinion on our side big time. Close to 90% of the voters are behind us on this. I've never known an issue that has that many people in favor of it. Ever. It's usually almost 50-50 on every issue. Not this one. Across party lines of the electorate. So we've got public opinion on our side, big time. We have most of the Democrat voters on our side. The Democrats are going to humiliate themselves on TV. This is a much better way to do it. Let them discredit themselves. And then force the vote. It'll be easier to force the vote once they discredit themselves. All right. I want to talk about, Lighthouse Medical and neuropathy. Holy smokes. You know, when Steve had his neuropathy, all these symptoms you hear me talking about all the time, we didn't know what he was going to do. We had our cruise coming up at that time. This was a few cruises ago. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to go. I can't get out of the house. How am I going to go? Got all this neuropathy. And we had a couple of months until the cruise. I found Lighthouse Medical. And Steve had relief after his very first treatment. And of course, they rid him of his neuropathy. It's been over 3.5 years now, and none of his symptoms have returned. It's amazing. Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy too. And you know what? No matter where you're located in the world, they can help you. Now, if you're local and you can make it into their office in Pompano, please do that. But even if you're local and you can't make it in, that's okay. They understand if you've got neuropathy, probably difficult for you to get out of the house a lot of times. But no matter where you are located in America or really the world, they can help you. Here's the number. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. All year, safety, surveys, yes, all year. Zero down financing, yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
For a limited time, save up to 30% off new air conditioners and repairs with all year.
Barry's not going to call in today, so do one of the recordeds that break.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor could order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit Any Lab Test Now with Boca at Any Lab Test Now with Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now with Boca at Any Lab Test Now with Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
This is Jamie Lee back with Swift Tax. With the big beautiful bill, I can help you with your federal, state, city, and income tax. The Treasury Secretary said that this year, taxpayers will be receiving the biggest refund they've had in years. We at Swift Tax will maximize your refund. Call me now, 954-773-1587. That number rings directly to my cell phone, 954-773-1587.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sandra. I'm calling from Delray Beach. The Barry Siegel Law Group did such wonderful work for me, and I was very particular. I'm a professional myself, and I went to about 3 or 4 attorneys prior. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to add anything extra, but Barry tailored it to my needs. And it's not only the trust. There's so many other end-of-life documents, the living will, the will, and I tailored each one of them to my liking, and they were wonderful.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
And not only that, when you finish your documents, you leave this world, your beneficiaries can go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big deal. The Siegel Group is above and beyond any other attorney that I have ever contacted. Plus, they give you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, it is Friday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carlos from Houston.
Hey, Carlos. What's on your mind?
And John Cornyn. John Thune, I don't trust him. I think he's trying to kill the bill. They're not going to be able to get closure. And he's thinking that's the end of the bill. As far as John Cornyn is concerned, Texas needs to get rid of this rhino. I'm thinking Paxson, and I know Trump wants Paxson.
Yes. Yeah. But so far as, see, this is what you got to understand. And I was talking to a caller about this yesterday. Remember when President Trump got rid of Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House because he wasn't doing what he wanted him to do? Okay, remember that? Okay, when President Trump got rid of a sitting Speaker of the House of Representatives, he wasn't even president, and he pulled that off. Thune opposes Trump on this very, very popular bill. He will not be the leader. It'll be Rick Scott from Florida or someone else that'll pass it through.
I hope you're right. I just don't trust rhinos. I've never trusted Thune, and he's so weak. He approaches things.
Well, that's good. The fact that he, but yeah, well, you know, the fact that he's weak is good. That means that Trump can push him in the right direction. If he's weak, how can he stand up to Trump?
I agree with that. Trump is a massive force, and this bill will pass because Trump and the people want it passed. But Thune is going to throw a bunch of obstacles. I'm telling you.
Well, why? What he's talking about doing now is fine. Give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Then wait until he betrays us to say he's going to betray us. I mean, you know.
I'll do that, Brian. I agree with you. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
And I'm not saying that he's in favor of it, but he's a survivor, right? So he may be going along with it even though he doesn't want to because he has to. That's fine with me.
All right, Brian. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, I appreciate it. You know, I talk about this sometimes. A lot of Republicans that are long-term I remember what it used to be like. Republicans used to be losers, right? I talked about this a lot. You know, we always were losing. Our people were always apologizing and always letting us down. And a lot of people that are longtime Republicans, I get it. I remember those days. But these are new days. So look at this. Here in Florida, let me pull this up. This is really amazing. Yesterday in Florida, the Florida legislature passed our own version of the SAVE Act. And by the way, Ron DeSantis is going to sign this, okay? Listen to this. The Florida legislature, this is yesterday, just passed their own version of the Save America Act. It's now headed to the desk of Governor Ron DeSantis for final signature. It fortifies citizenship requirement and verification to register to vote in Florida. So all those ladies in front of Publix, sorry, no more registration in front of Publix. Ensures valid photo ID to vote. Marks paper ballots as the primary method of voting. And ban this. Now this is a big one. People, I haven't even thought about this one yet. This is one of the biggest parts of it. Ban student IDs as valid form of ID to vote. You know why that one's so important? These Democrats got more rackets going on. A lot of these college kids are registered to vote where they go to school and where mommy and daddy live. And sometimes it's in different states. And a lot of times they vote in both. And they're able to do that because they use their student ID. A lot of people that, here in Florida as an example, you might go to Florida Atlantic, Florida International, Florida State, wherever, and you've got a student ID from that school, but maybe you're from Indiana or Pennsylvania, and they've been letting them vote with their student ID. Those days are over. And that's, and what Florida is doing here, this is getting a lot of publicity, and it will get more publicity as this goes on. And we already have public opinion on our side, big time. Things like this are going to have it growing and growing and growing. All right, our number is 888-465-2631. Did you check the delay this morning? Okay, good. Always got to check. That's the most important piece of equipment at the radio station. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
I can't believe that this guy, this room needs to be recalled. I'm hoping there's a way to give...
Who? Who needs to be recalled? Who?
What's his name? Who's going against Trump, the head of the Republican Party? I forgot his...
Thune. He's doing everything right now.
Now, finally, he's doing something, but he's the guy that's totally against President.
He has it. Well, he may be against him. He may. Well, that's all we need, right?
Yeah. Well, we need some only people in there that are MAGA and want to support.
Well, he's there now, and right now he at least appears to be doing the right thing, whether or not he wants to do it or. Like I said, he may betray us in a week or a day or an hour, but right now he's doing the right thing.
Well, I hope he has he's finally woke up. But we'll soon see. The thing I want to ask you now is, somebody sent me this thing that said that DOJ decided to drop the investigation on the auto pen. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, and what I read a story about this a couple days ago that said that is not true.
That's what I was hoping to hear, because I got somebody sent me that. I looked for it, I couldn't find it.
Who sent that to you?
A friend of mine, a liberal, of course, sent me that saying, "Oh, you see, they even dropped that. The auto pen is nonsense." I said, "Well, I have to look into it." I tried, I couldn't find it.
No, the opposite is true.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear that. The other thing you asked me yesterday, how did I hear about that crazy story? That was turns out that I have this weather thing on my computer. Anyways, and MSN is who said that there's not enough bombs in the world to take care of Iran. Anyway, so the MSN is another fake. Unbelievable.
We have some bombs that are so powerful that it would only take one bomb to obliterate all of Iran. So what are they talking about? You know what the thing is on MSNBC, at least during the week, they've got like 3 Muslim anchors over there on MSNBC, at least 3 Muslim anchors. So they lean towards the, we've had 2 Islamic terrorist attacks this week, the one in New York and then the one yesterday, right? I mean, 2 separate attacks, different parts of the country.
My neighbor came over, I was outside, and he came over and said, "I'm afraid to go out now." I said, "You're a listen to CNN or something. Come on, man. There's not going to be any issue. There's no proof of anybody. There's a terrorist act here, terrorist act there. But these people are just very sparse. You know.
Yep. Yep. All right, Doug. Take care. You know, yesterday I was doing some work around the house yesterday afternoon, and it was pretty involved. I'm not going to get into the details of what it all was, but I was inside my kitchen doing some work up by the ceiling. I had a ladder. I was on my kitchen counter. I'm standing. I'm doing all this stuff, and you know, and I realized that before Dr. Appleton rid me of my shoulder pain, I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff because I wouldn't have been able to lift my arms up to do it. You know, do you guys remember the day that I went in for my shoulder pain the last time with Dr. Appleton? And I've had multiple shoulder injuries from my longboard skateboard riding. And I still have the boards, but don't ride them anymore. Because, well, you know, first off, if you're my age riding the skateboards, you look kind of foolish, you know. I saw a dad in my neighborhood riding a skate. He wasn't riding a longboard, which is longboards are super cool. Skateboards are for kids. But he was riding but most people don't know the difference. And if you see me going down the road, you don't know I'm on a super cool longboard, you know. They cost about as much as my first car, as opposed to the little skateboard. But I saw this guy going down the street. He's a lot younger than me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he looks like an idiot. Not me. But again, that was before I lost all this weight from Coastal Weight Loss Secrets, so maybe I should get back on the board. But anyway, when I was on the air, and I remember it was a Friday, I was in so much pain. It was my right shoulder, and the way I described it, the side of my shoulder felt like I'd been punched by Mike Tyson, and the front of my shoulder felt like someone had like a Ginsu steak knife inside my shoulder and was cutting my muscle while I was on the air. It was a great day. Oh man. I went to Dr. Appleton. He treated me with the laser wave pain treatment. Pain gone, hasn't returned. I've had 3 different shoulder injuries from different accidents I've had. He's rid me of pain all 3 times of my shoulders. And I'm doing all this stuff yesterday, and it's so great. I'm like, oh wow, you know, I'm like, yo, anything else you need me to do? I'm asking my wife. That's up high where I can lift my arms up above my head. It's amazing. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain, too. Remember, there's no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, 100% painless. You don't even feel the robotic laser when it's happening. No shots, no injections. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays, and the consultation is free. Call Dr. Appleton right now, 954, well, maybe not right now. It's just, 20 seconds before 7 a.m. Call Dr. Appleton today, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. Call us on hold, stand by. Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Safe sun care, and even pet care. H2 Ocean has you covered. Online touchscreen keypad, 3 door or window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access, so you can check it anytime from anywhere. You can't put a price on peace of mind, so call 833-283-5050 right now. At Sloan's Home Security, we believe in everything deserves to feel safe, because protecting what matters most shouldn't be complicated or expensive. Call 833-283-5050 to get your free home security system and professional installation today. Sloman's Home Security, protecting families nationwide. Call 833-283-5050 to get your free home security system and professional installation today. Or visit slomans.com.
Jamie Lee back from Swift Pass. The big beautiful bill I can help with your federal, state, city, and income tax. The Treasury Secretary said that this year, taxpayers will be receiving the biggest refund they've had in years. We at Swift Tax That number rings directly to my cell phone, 954-773-1587.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All righty, there's only 2 openings on the board. Now, it is Friday, which is open phones. We call it Open Mega Mike Friday. On Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. The show prep, of course, is up to you. You don't even have to comment on anything that I bring up or Steve brings up, but hopefully you'll find something interesting enough that I brought up that you want to comment on. So it is open phones. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. The number is 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, we're starting off good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes.
Ohio.
Hey, Vicky, turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on in the background. Vicky from Ohio, okay?
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling?
That's a great show there in the background. That's like the best show in America you're listening to. So what's on your... Vicky, you got to turn the volume down.
I did. I just turned it down.
Like mute it, because I can still hear me and there's a delay.
Okay, I get it.
That's like me a minute ago.
Okay, I got it.
Now I can still hear it. I mean, I love the show, but, you know. All right, go ahead. Now I don't hear it. What's on your mind, Vicky from Ohio?
So, I'm calling because I need to, get something that's been disturbing me since 2012. In 2012, I voted in, I went to a location here and I voted for Mitt Romney and Sarah Palin.
Yes. And Sarah Palin, they weren't running together.
No, they were.
No, they weren't. John McCain ran with Sarah Palin.
Oh, I'm sorry. John McCain. I'm sorry.
And that was in 2008.
Sorry.
All right, Vicky, take care. Oh my goodness. I try. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Craig, from Winter Garden.
Hey, Craig, what's up?
Not much. Think about this. This voting rights thing that they're trying to pass through. Okay, by doing the honorable, just, legal thing to vote, if that happens, it knocks the Democrats out of power generation.
Yes.
Right, but just think about this pathetic party. Now, maybe not so much the people. I mean, they, like Trump always says, he doesn't go against the people, it's the politicians. But these leaders that they've got, by doing the right thing.
Who's doing the right thing? Who's doing the right thing?
We could knock them out of power this year. This thing is true for
yes.
grandchildren.
Yes.
like that.
Correct.
How close this thing is. And now one more thing, and you try to explain it, and I still don't understand it. The filibuster and the non-filibuster. I know the filibuster, you need 60 votes, which we don't have. But the non-filibuster, we got a 50-50 tie now. I know JD will break the tie. How do we get to that? How do we make
It's going to happen. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Okay. Now, again, the way that in the old days, they used to have to speak for 24 hours nonstop. They don't do that anymore. They just threaten the filibuster. Okay. Okay. Public opinion, the 80% of Democrats support the Save America Act, okay? When the Democrats have to go out there and make their case on live television for an entire week, it could go on for 2 weeks, it'll be all over the internet live streaming, some of the Democrats are going to come to our side on this because the pressure, got to understand, it's already passed the House, okay? Let me just tell you what's going on. So the House has passed it, okay? And we've got the votes in the Senate to pass it. We just got to get through this fake filibuster thing. All right, now listen to this. This is important. President Trump said he is not going to sign any legislation into law until this passes. By the way, that doesn't mean this month. That means for the rest of the time he's president. Right now, we are in an election year. The entire House of Representatives, every member of the House is up for re-election, and 1/3 of the Senate are up for re-election. To run for re-election, which they've all got to do, there's even a lot of primaries that haven't happened yet. Right here in Florida, as an example, our primaries are in August. They need money from donors to run in the primaries and in the general. They need the money. Donors only donate money because they're going to give it back to them when they pass legislation in the form of earmarks, right? If Trump is not signing any legislation, they can't pay back the donors. The donors aren't going to give them money. Everything is on our side. We got the people on our side. It's already passed the House, right? We're going to have the donors on our side. And, and we've got about 83% of the American people on our side. Everything is in our side. I don't understand why I keep talking to depressed Republicans on the phone.
I mean, we are right on the edge of wiping this party out.
Yes. Yeah.
Generations.
Yeah. So be happy.
Get it done.
It's getting done. But you got to be patient. Listen. Since TikTok came around, okay, the attention span of the American people is very short. So, yeah, you got to be patient. All right, Winter Park, I appreciate the call. You know, in Hollywood, there's a new, I forgot what they're called. What do they call those? They're called verticals. Do you know what verticals are? Movies? Vertical movies? This is the new thing in Hollywood. Vertical movies they're movies that aren't on a widescreen format in a vertical format. That would fit on a TikTok. And right now in Hollywood, regular movie directors and they're short films. They're like 3 minutes long. They make a 90-minute movie and they edit it into 3-minute parts, and they're called verticals. That's what Hollywood's doing now, because the attention span is so short now in this country. So everything is happening. Now, if Thune lets us down, then I'm going to, okay, but he hasn't yet. A lot of panicans on the line today. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Richie. I got to be fast, I guess, because we're coming to the break. This is deeper. This is so much deeper. You know that Minnesota is sanctuary. You know that California is sanctuary. Colorado is sanctuary. They all have one thing in common. They used to be Republican states. By them keeping the law the way it is now with these illegals and having these sanctuary states, they're guaranteing at the presidential election locked-in states that they can't lose and we can't investigate. So this is going to end sanctuary cities also, because you got to ask yourself, why did they let between 10 and 15 million people across the border? They knew exactly what they were doing, and once a state becomes Democrat, it'll never change because they'll make it sanctuary for illegals. So it has to stop. This is what it's all about. It's and they're here.
Yeah, and Florida, we just passed this in Florida. DeSantis will sign it into law soon. As an example, in Florida, right, we have 3 big counties that are Democrat. We've got Broward, Palm Beach, and Orange County, which is where Orlando is. With this, those 3 counties are going to go Republican. And there's a lot of House members in those counties. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, for example, she only gets reelected because she's got Cemetery Village South in her district. That's it.
Yeah, you look at Brian. I'm bringing Colorado up really bad. Colorado used to be deep red. When it became blue, they made it sanctuary.
Yes.
It'll never switch back, even with population move, because they'll have so many illegals in their state that they'll maintain the blueness. So this is what it's all about. This is major change of everything.
And it looks like to me, right now, it is in our favor that it's going to pass. It's in our favor. We just got to get through this filibuster stupidity. Yeah. And you know what? Colorado and California and New York will stay Democrat for a while. It may take a couple election cycles. Yeah, exactly.
But it wouldn't change if this doesn't go through, and that's my point. And it would get worse. It's like starts in one state and runs across the whole country.
Yes.
People are devious. These Democrats are so devious. And all that we want is fairness. That's all we ask for. And you have a great weekend, and you've got a great show.
All right, appreciate the call. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. And, Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I'm so excited. Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You know, this weekend, my wife's having me do this. She's having me go through my shirts and find out which ones are too big. You know, I was going through my cruise clothes. I have a whole bunch of clothes I only wear once a year, my cruise clothes. And I was trying on some of my cruise clothes. And my wife said, you cannot wear that shirt. And I said, I love this shirt. It's one of my Hawaiian shirts. She says, you can't wear that shirt. She says, go look in the mirror. Okay, go look in the mirror. Because I'm starting already to pack for the cruise. I'm so excited. It looked like, it looked like I had a beer belly in this one of my favorite Hawaiian shirts. Because it's so big. It's so big. It fits the old me. So that shirt's out. So this weekend I'm going through my shirts that I have and getting rid of the ones that have the extra belly space and make me look like I have a belly, because I don't. Thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. It is amazing. And, you know, you heard a guy called me on the air a couple days ago. He was watching me on YouTube, and I told you, and he said this. He says, you look younger. Yeah, people tell me that all the time. You look younger. I don't know what it is about losing weight, because, you know, it makes you look younger, but I hear that from people all the time. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret, no matter where you're located in the United States, and get the weight off, no matter how much or how little you want to use. If you want to lose 25 pounds or 525 pounds or anywhere in between, give them a call. Schedule your no-charge consultation, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300, and online, coastalweightloss.secret.com. We'll be right back.
traffic, whatever. Pamela Porter, what a class act. The workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Give Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing a call. This number rings directly to his cell phone. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. 954-604-4602. LaportaRoofing.com. They'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Time to spend hours in the doctor's office or 8 hours at one of those big labs. That's why I do any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not even needed. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now at Boca and Any Lab Test Now at Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now at Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State 441. Any Lab Test Now at Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now at Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right. We're back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brother Brian, good morning, IB.
Hey, IB. What's up?
That, two callers back mentioned that for generations the Democrats won't be in power. I'm glad he emphasized the point that I made about we won't see them ever back till the 50s or the 60s, understanding that we have the president of the Senate, J.D. Vance. You guys, not you guys, but people are underestimating the power of J.D. Vance in the Senate. I think we should go to cloture, but looking at John Thune, he's in survival mode, okay? Survival. Look at his track record on his voting. He knows that this is going to pass because of J.D. Vance, no matter what happens. Trump is going to get our way. And Richie made a good point about how the other red states have so many people that are there, but we're gonna be able to shift through them with this act that will.
Well, these senators, Democrats too, owe donors a lot of money in earmarks from legislation, and nothing will pass until this passes. So they're going to have to do it.
Yep. I want to personally thank Mike Bordoff. He's doing a great job. Him and the other Mike helped me out a couple of months back, and I wanted to thank him on air that we appreciate Mike, what he does behind the scenes.
Really? You helped out, IB? All right.
The other thing is just when we hear the True Oldies playback, the volume has to be just a little higher. And one more thing, Brian, I wanted to.
What the playback where? You mean on the phone?
No, on the True Oldies. Go back and listen to the show.
Oh, okay.
Higher. Yeah. Yeah.
You helped the guy out. Now he's an audio engineer. See what happens? All right, IB.
No, Brian.
Yes.
The Melania movie. 2 points I wanted to make. The conversation that happened in the car when Donald said, "Oh, I have to ride with Biden."
Oh yes.
All of what the auto pen did to him, and he had to be in that car. I want to know what that conversation was, and I don't remember Trump ever.
Well, Melania is the #1 movie on Amazon right now. Not #1 documentary, #1 movie. And pretty much every movie ever made is on Amazon, right? I mean, that's amazing. It was, when it first went up, and I watched it again with my wife. It was #3 in documentaries. By the time we were done with the movie, it had reached #1 in documentaries. Now Melania is #1 among all movies on Amazon. And
we were against the break on Monday, so I didn't get a chance to say that because Barron is a bigger man than me, not taller, but bigger man than me, because I don't think I could have shaken Biden's hand knowing that they tried to kill my father. And I thought that was pretty admirable.
Well, when you look at when you watch Melania on Amazon, which everyone should do, when Melania and the president get to the White House and they're greeted by Biden and his scummy wife. Okay, make no mistake about it, she's scummy. I mean, look at both of their kids are junkies. She was running the country. They got cocaine around the place. I mean, but you can tell Biden's out of it. You could tell his mind and everything is. He doesn't know what's going on. He is really out of it when you see him up there. When they're on top of the steps and Trump and Melania are walking up the steps, you can see Biden doesn't know why he's there and who's there and what the event is. It's sad.
It was criminal for what they did to Biden, even though Biden was face behind the nastiness of what they did to us and our president. But it was criminal for the people that put him there, that was pulling the strings, not knowing how many of them, and Obama was a part of it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's just pretty down low, dirty, rotten. Even though Biden is the face of our anger because he wrecked our lives. You know what I mean? But it was the other people with the...
All right, I appreciate the call, IB. All right, take care. All right, now did you guys see this thing that happened with Scott Bessent? Scott Bessent was doing an interview, and during the interview, he got called away to go to the Situation Room by the president. Did you see this? Let me pull this up. Hold on. Let's see here. It is this one. Okay, it's this one. Listen to this. He's doing the interview. He gets called away to the Situation Room by the president, and then he comes back. All right, and it's like they give me the time here, so I'll tell you what the time, how much time passed after, because they do put it here for me. Listen to this.
I listened to your Okay. No problem. See you shortly.
Okay, that's 10:22, and he comes back at 12:07. What a piece of garbage this guy is, okay? With his British accent. You know, these guys, here he is, he's visiting us from the Muslim nation of England, and he, these liberal jerks in the media that have these proper British accents, they think it makes their liberal garbage sound like it makes sense and more respectable and credible, but it doesn't. This guy's doing an interview with Scott Bessent that no one cares about because nobody knows who he is. He has, like, something major happen during the interview. He's interviewing a senior cabinet member, the Secretary of the Treasury. There's a war going on, a very hot war going on. And the president's in the Situation Room. He calls Bessent in there, senior cabinet member. We don't know why. Could have been his opinion on something. It could have been a financial thing with some ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Who knows? And this guy, is the president okay? Like there's something wrong with the president. Like he was so overwhelmed, he had to call Scott Bessent in to cover for him. What a jerk. What a jerk. What a jerk. He gets this big scoop, and he's like, what's going on? Is there, what were we called in for? What's going on? Not that he would tell you, all classified. Oh, is the president okay? Is he overwhelmed by the stress? Can he not handle it? Did he need you to come? What a jerk. By the way, Scott Bassett has a kid who's thinking about military. He's gay. How'd that happen? I didn't know that. I guess adopted, or I don't know. A drunken night? I don't know. I didn't know Scott Bassett had a son. Did you? Did he say son? He said child. I don't know. Did he say? I don't know. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation.
And I went to about 3 or 4 attorneys prior. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to add anything extra, but Barry tailored it to my needs. And it's not only the trust. There's so many other end-of-life documents, the living will, the will, and I tailored each one of them to my liking, and they were wonderful and always, always polite. And not only that, when you finish your documents and you leave this world, your beneficiaries could go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big deal. The Siegel Group is above and beyond any other attorney that I have ever contacted. Plus, they give you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
With Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years on the air.
All right, we're back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Larry Hogan,
All right, Larry.
South Central Virginia.
All right. What's up, Larry?
What's going on in Virginia right now is the recent flood of liberal politicians that ended up in Richmond. has actually read the Second Amendment. By the way, they talk when they go in the House of Representatives there. But we're having a rough time here in Virginia, and we got 4 years to put up with it.
What happened? They took. What do you mean? What are they doing about the Second Amendment in Virginia? What's happened?
It's on the governor's desk right now. We affectionately call her Abigail.
No. What are they doing? The Second Amendment's a federal thing, right? It's the Constitution. So what are they doing to?
It's constitutional, it shall not be infringed. But what they're doing, they have as soon as she signs it, what they consider an assault weapon will be banned in the state.
Well, what do they consider to be an assault weapon?
A slingshot that.
A slingshot?
That's just.
A slingshot? I mean, no, come on. What do they consider to be an assault weapon?
Well, of course, what they call the AR-15 rifle, pump shotguns.
A pump shotgun? Oh my goodness.
Automatic shotguns, anything that it don't have to come from a factory holding over 10.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck. All right. I'm gonna move on. But I appreciate the call. All right. Good luck to you. You know, I saw a story in the local news. You know, here in Florida, we now have permitless carry. Permitless carry. And I read a story in the local. I don't have it here. I read this a few days ago. So I'll just tell you off the top of my head. I don't have the story at my fingertips. But I'll tell you what happened. So in Florida, you never know who's carrying now because you don't need a concealed weapons permit. You just have to be old enough to buy the gun and not be a convicted felon, right? There was a guy, this was in Palm Beach County. This was in or around the parking lot of the Target north of Palmetto Park Road on 441. And I read this in the local news the other day, okay? Listen to this. This guy is walking home. There's a hospital nearby, and he worked in some medical office across the street, and he's walking home, and two guys with guns go to rob him while he's walking home. Just this guy, he's walking home. He works at a medical office. He's walking home. These two guys come up to him when he's in the Target parking lot. They got guns, and guess what? He had a gun in his backpack, and he went for it, and they had a shootout. No one got shot. And then there was another bystander who wasn't involved. He had a gun too and was defending this guy that got mugged. They had this shootout. And I know people that are liberals and all that stuff and gun control lunatics will say, well, there was a shootout at Target. No one got shot. The bad guys got arrested. And you know what? That story's getting a lot of coverage in the local news. I hope it gets a lot more coverage because now that you don't need a permit to carry a weapon, we have open carry in Florida now. We have open carry. And now that will send, not that the criminals read the newspapers, but, it needs to be out there. That incident, people will say, look at this craziness. There was a shootout. Look, now they don't, they got open carry now, and you don't need a permit. Now there was a shootout at Target. That's a good thing. The more people know about it, the better, because these muggers are going to start thinking twice, because you never know. Now you never know who's carrying. So anyway, remember, there's that great book, More Guns, Less Crime, right? More Guns, Less Crime. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I can hear that there's a person on the line, but I can't understand the words you were saying. Speak up. Sam. You're okay. All right, Sam, what's on your mind?
My question, do you lot always, where do we outrage? Because right now, I was listening to the Americans say people are going to release the files. They're arresting people, going after people. How come you dodge the questions and nothing really gets done in the U.S.? And why are the people not so outraged? But when it comes to the foreigners doing these things,
You know, you're a mumbler. You're a mumbler. I'm having a hard time no, you've got, speak. No, I can't understand what you're saying.
okay, I'll repeat again. Why are people, I'll repeat again. Stop interrupting me. I'll repeat again. You see, you don't like informed. All right, I'll repeat myself again. I said, why do your president not get called out for being on the files so many times, and why are you not pushing
The file, they've all been released. In fact, President Trump signed a bill President Trump signed a bill. Excuse me. Listen, I apologize for speaking while you're interrupting. Okay. President Trump signed a bill. Oh, he hung up. He hung up. Well, sorry, I did not hang up on that guy. I'm not going to finish my thought on that because, it is open phones, but you guys know what I was going to say probably. But he couldn't handle the truth. Watch, this will be him. Watch, Mike. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Is Josh from?
I'm doing all right, Josh, in Michigan. Yes. Well, on that note of agreement, thank you for your call. Oh, my goodness. Boy, we got some winners today. I tell you guys, open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones on Friday, it's hit and miss. It's either the best calls of the week or the dregs of humanity. And right now, it's the dregs. I wanted to share this. This is for those of you out there who have been saying that the tariffs are bad, right? This is Fox Business yesterday. Right? All these people, the tariffs, can't do the tariffs.
We're talking about 150 jobs here at the smelting plant in South Carolina, and these are good-paying jobs. They're going to pay on average of $125,000 a year. The plant here is going back to 100% manufacturing capacity for aluminum after they had to idle some of their production lines back in 2015 when the CEO says prices were just too low and competition from foreign suppliers was just too fierce. Listen to him here.
The tariffs are working. As Peter Navarro said, they're sacred to this administration. And we're really confident that if we continue to do what we need to do, invest in this country, reshore supply chains, and hire more American workers to manufacture and build communities like we have here in Goose Creek, South Carolina, or in Nola, Oklahoma, we'll be successful for a long time here in America.
That's the owner of the aluminum company.
So, Stuart, I want to show you the work that's happening right here because you can see the workers are building out what they call hot lines here at this smelting plant. This is where heavy-duty equipment will be housed that melts the aluminum, purifies the aluminum, mixes it with other types of metals to produce their finished products for their commercial customers. Once these pot lines are up and running, they will operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this kind of domestic production is so important for our country because right now most aluminum comes from foreign sources, mostly from China, and some of it, about 8%, is coming from the Middle East, which is driving prices higher. And the CEO of Century Aluminum here in South Carolina says that underscores the importance of building up domestic production like you see happening right here, Stuart.
Okay, so you hear that? Yeah, it was Stuart Varney's show on Fox Business yesterday. That's pretty amazing. So she said at the end, she said most of the aluminum has been coming in, the cheap aluminum from China. I think she said 8% from the Middle East. And this guy here couldn't even have his plant running at full capacity. There wasn't enough business. And the tariffs have put him back in business. And the jobs are paying $124,000 a year for non-college educated skilled labor. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And that's because of the tariffs that all of the Democrats opposed. And, a lot of them would still oppose it because, either they're bought off by China or there's somebody in our listening audience who's a liberal who, with all these jobs that are being created, their wives or their mommies and daddies might require them to go out and actually find a job. I want to talk about Life Imaging FLA. This is very important. I've been telling you guys this week that if you have a vacation coming up, I don't care where it is, if it's domestic, if it's out of the country, you should go to Life Imaging FLA and have the heart scan. And I've talked a lot about a guy I was a big fan of, Adam the Woo, a couple years younger than me. He just came back from Europe and he dropped dead from a heart attack. He had massive blockage. He had no idea. If he'd have gone in for a simple heart scan, he would have seen the blockage, would have had it taken care of. He'd be alive today. That's right. And so one of our listeners on a cruise about 3 or so cruises ago had a heart-related emergency, and they had to actually speed the ship up into port for them to get treatment. You know, if you have and by the way, they're fine and did well, and and have cruised since. But you know, if you're planning a trip, it's so important to make sure that you are healthy before that trip. Life Imaging FLA have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250, just say free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
So he hasn't brought it to the floor for that reason. He's citing all kinds of historical things just to cover his butt, in my opinion. Now he's bringing it to the floor for a vote. We know it's not going to pass.
No, he's bringing it to the floor for a debate. It takes 60 votes to end a filibuster, but there's been no filibuster. The Democrats have just threatened a filibuster.
Okay.
So he's
bringing it up for a debate. So this is just to expose the Democrats.
correct. Yes.
They're not going to vote for it. So,
Don't be so sure about that. Don't be so sure about that. Well, then why do we not do it? Why do we just give up then?
no. I'm not saying that, and I agree. I just
Listen, I talked to listen, you're not the first panicant I've talked to today on the program, but I'm going to repeat to you. You obviously were not listening to the last hour. Shame on you. This show starts at 6, all right? But I'll repeat it for you, okay? It's important, okay? This is what's going to happen. This is better than just pushing it through. Have you heard a single Democrat call me and try to defend opposition to voter ID? Have you heard one?
no. No.
No, why is that? Why is that? Why do you think that is?
There's no defense. They don't want to.
There's no defense. Okay, there's no defense. So what Thune has done is set up this debate, and he said this yesterday. I played the audio early. The Democrats are going to have to stand on the floor of the Senate, which will be live on television because it's such a big news story. It'll be streaming and going viral all over the internet, and try to tell the American people why there should be no ID to vote. There's no argument in favor of it, and we have over 80% of the American people on our side already, over 70% of blacks, over 80% of Hispanics, 90% of Republicans, and over 80% of Democrats, 83% support it. The percentages are going to go up after the Democrats make fools of themselves on the floor of the Senate. It's a brilliant move by Thune.
Okay, so it's not going to bring it to a vote. It's not going to kill the act. He's just bringing it up for debate.
What he's doing is he's bringing the Democrats up to discredit themselves. They're going to discredit themselves. And they'll be talking about Jim Crow 2.0 and 6.8 and time, all that stuff. Nobody's going to buy any of that. They're going to look like fools.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the clarification, Brian. I appreciate it. I do the show every day, and I watch it from the very beginning. I really do, but
I know. I'm teasing.
I'm not understanding.
No, I appreciate it.
To me, he's such a rhino. I can't. He should have been nuking the filibuster. We're all in favor of it. Come on. This is it's just dragging, and I hope Trump gets even tougher on him.
That's right. All right, appreciate the call. Do you know, I'm just kidding with her. Do you know how long the average person listens to this program? Because I get numbers of this online. You know how long? What do you think? At just the 3-hour show, because sometimes I go long, sometimes I start early. Do you know what the average listener, how long they listen to this program each morning? The 3-hour show? This is astounding, and guys, I mean, I want to tell you, I'm very grateful for you and appreciative of you. 2 hours and 35 minutes. That's the average. That means some are listening to the whole thing. That's the average. 2 hours and 35 minutes. Isn't that something? That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, let's see. What the heck? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Jessica, what's up?
Happy Friday. I just want to say to the Democrats that are calling you that Republicans, we don't care about what you think. We don't care about what Democrats think about how President Trump is doing. Because they didn't vote for President Trump to begin with. So why should we care that they're having a fit? They're having a meltdown about the war in Iran. They didn't vote for Trump. They didn't vote for any Democrat that is in Congress or Senate or governorship right now. So I don't care. I don't like listening to their meltdown and insulting you and all of that stuff. I don't care what Democrats think, Brian. I really don't. It's like every morning I listen to their crying and their snowflake behavior, and I'm fed up with them. They think that they're going to change the American view on the president and how he's handling our economy. He's handling the way that he's pushing, agenda that's benefiting America.
Yes.
Jobs for Americans. So Democrats listening to your show this morning, we don't care.
Yeah.
We really don't care.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
You all.
Yeah.
Fed up with you all, Democrats.
Well, a lot of these Democrats that call me, you got to wonder, are they Democrats or are they just gay men that have a thing for me? Because it seems like a lot of them are gay. Yeah, I mean, you listen to some of them. I mean, they say perverted things to me. Oh, my goodness.
Care what you guys think of our president. I don't care. And guess what? 90% of my family that voted for Trump, we don't care either about what you think.
Well, it's not only that you don't care. Their opinions are irrelevant because they've been rejected by the American people.
They are irrelevant. They were objected about them for the American people in the last election, and they're going to continue being rejected.
Mm-hmm.
So that they're crazy.
Yes, that is correct. They're crazy.
Gone off the bridge.
Yep, that's right. All right, I appreciate the call. Appreciate the call. All right, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, well, so I'm calling back from this week. I was siding with your caller 2 callers ago. Yeah, Thune is a rhino, and yeah, I don't even know why we're putting up with that. But hopefully the Save Act gets passed. But I had to bring up Woke Eddie.
Who's that?
Woke Eddie Gallerin, the guy running against Massey.
Oh.
Out Massey. He went up by like 10 points. So
Okay.
why Trump is siding with the? Maybe you can help me out with that. Why would he?
No, you're beyond help. You're beyond help.
I know because I'm not a sicko fan like you. I understand, Brian.
No, because you're a fraud. No, you're a fraud. That's why.
Brian, I've called in here 30 times supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Turning me into fake MAGA. It just doesn't.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Anyway, so what?
Well, listen.
The guy,
I'm not going to comment. I'm out of time anyway. We'll be right back. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Hey, Richard. Mike, the phones aren't working. The phones aren't working. I can't get a line out. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, I was done talking to you. It was time for a break. It was 8 o'clock. Time for a break. Okay. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hold on. Yeah, I can't get a line out. See? I'm trying to get Steve on the line.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
See if it works in there. What's your name? Where are you calling from? No, I'm not going to put you back on. I don't hold callers over through the break. All right. You got the line? It's just my phone. I'll call him in there. Yeah. This weird number. It was working earlier because I used the phone. I don't know. Here, let me call Steve. It's working for you. Okay.
Well, I hope you're able to.
No, it's doing the same thing.
Oh, the second.
Oh, wait. See, like 5 didn't work. Line 2 worked. Hey there. Hey there, I'm going to put you on hold, okay? Hold on. Yeah, so maybe it's, I don't know if those lines are working. I don't know if I got a call on those lines. No, I tried on the last line there, and it wouldn't work, and somebody called me on it. So,
I don't know. through all the breaks.
Yeah.
Like even before government have been.
Yes. What do you mean?
Like, you know. Like,
Oh, before going into it? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, I'm on top of the world. Always.
The time has come. The time has come.
That's right. We got. I don't know. We're going. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me check. Hold on. I don't want to give out false information here. Look at the calendar. Oh my goodness. We're leaving in. No, we got. Yeah, we're leaving a week from Sunday. A week from Sunday we leave. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. All right, there's only one opening on the board. Do you want to go to the phones? What do you want to do?
Go to the phone.
All right, I cannot vouch for the quality of the calls, though. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richard Pompano.
Hey, Richard, speak up a little.
Okay, I would really love it if the Republicans would run an ad the way I'm going to describe to you. Try to think back when the caravans were coming in, thousands and thousands. There were reporters interviewing these people, and when they got up close, the reporter would say, why are you coming here? And in broken English, Biden, I vote for Biden, I vote for Biden. This would show the public that the whole purpose of this mass immigration was just to vote Democrat. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it does. But I mean, we have over 70% of blacks on our side, over 80% of Hispanics, 83% of Democrats on our side. I think we've already made the case.
I understand that, but I just think just keep it going.
All right. All right, Richard. You take care. All right, take care. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your... Yeah, he's excited. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How are you today?
Yes.
I'm doing great. First, I just want to make a statement because this Trump statement, he's made it twice now. He's such a good speaker. He says he's doing such a good job over there that the dead people are walking around with no legs and no arms. He's such a brilliant man. He gets dead people to walk around with no legs and no arms. That's just...
What do you...
Where's your sense of humor?
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what tongue-in-cheek sense of humor is?
That's exactly it. Why would your president say that? Twice.
It's a joke.
No, it wasn't. It's very serious.
Thanks, heavens.
Let me ask you a question. This is the question I want to ask.
Yes, what's that?
Now that this war has started, and that little, I forget the name of the part of the water, that little curve that none of the ships are allowed to go through, why wasn't that taken care of and knowing what was going to do with that before this war started, and now the situation is happening? Give me an answer.
Care. What are you worried about? Are you afraid we're going to lose this?
Ships are coming through.
No ships are coming through. That's not an answer, Steve.
He didn't say no ships are coming through. They're making adjustments.
What you mean adjustments? There's no ships coming.
So I'm confused by your idiotic question, okay? But, I've got answers for everything, believe me. But what I'm confused about, this is what I'm confused about. Are you asking why they didn't win the war before they fought the war? I mean, to secure all these different areas involves military operations and such. Listen, think about this. We're less than 2 weeks away from the beginning of the fighting, and you're wondering why it's not over soon enough?
You're under the impression that Iran is winning this war? I get that impression from listening to you talk.
Iran.
You think Iran is on the winning side? Would you rather be on Iran's side or our side as things stand now?
Let me finish. Iran said,
Go ahead.
I'm going to get to the United States. The way that I'm going to get to them is I'm going to mess with their economy. And I'm going to clog up this thing, and nobody's getting through.
When you say when you're talking about it in the first person, are you identifying with the terrorists?
Hey, Steve, instead of trying to be funny, why don't you answer the question?
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to bring clarity to your murky argument here. When you say we, are you talking from the point of view of the terrorists?
Your brain's not letting you answer the question. Why can't you answer the question?
The question is an idiotic question. Iran doesn't even have, excuse me. Iran does not even have a leader. They're claiming a dead man is their leader, the son of the Ayatollah. Have you seen him on television? Really? Have you seen him on television with his one leg in a coma? Have you seen him on television?
You're the only one because he appears to be dead.
Live. I mean live on television, not file footage.
You gonna let me answer that? The reason you haven't seen him on TV
It's because he's dead.
As soon as he's being seen, they're gonna kill him. We all know.
Well, don't you think that's a good thing? Don't you think we should kill the Ayatollah?
I don't care who. Being honest with you, the war shouldn't have started. I understand the situation.
So do you think the Ayatollah is dead? His son is dead. That's why he hasn't been on television.
If the son is dead, do you think they would be letting a dead man run the country?
That's just the point, stupid. There's no one running the country.
From the grave.
Yeah, there's no one running the country. That's why you haven't seen him.
But then people, maybe some of the dead people that he got walking around might be running the country.
Oh my goodness. This is Trump derangement syndrome times infinity. All right, appreciate the call. I mean, come on.
Right.
Oh my goodness. He's rooting though for the Ayatollah to be alive.
Yeah, there's no question that when he said we, he's talking as
The enemy.
a partner with the enemy.
Yes, that's correct. All right, I told you I could not vouch for the quality of these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? This one's going to be good because they just cleared their throat before they started speaking, so they must have a pronouncement to make. You're on the air. I heard him clearing the. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. Chris from Pamela.
Yeah, Chris.
Hey, Chris, a coherent human being. What a change.
It's amazing. I love it. I was about to, mention how you and Brian have helped me over the years with my little debates with family. Because, I'm from Westchester County up in New York, and, they vote just because, I guess, of the D thing, Democrat, but a lot of them are falling off that ship anyway. But, come on. People like Jay was listening and following dead people trying to run this country last administration, from the dead people voting. Oh, my goodness, we know how many thousands of those dead people that voted.
Yeah, now they got a dead man running Iran.
Right, and I guess they're used to that because we had a dead leader.
Well, we shouldn't disenfranchise the dead. They have rights too.
They have rights too, apparently, to vote and everything else. But come on, guys. That's the derangement syndrome. Anything negative would do. So this guy is just holding on. When I say this guy, I'm talking about Jay. He has attached himself to the Democrat Party for one thing only, sexual preference that they like crap done. But yeah, I don't want to be distracted by that guy, but anything negative will do. And, I'm thankful that you guys are on the show as a voice of reason, and I hope you continue to get more listeners across the.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, I appreciate the call, Chris. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, you can always come. You're always not this time. It's sold out, but next time you can come next time. I want to talk about My Pillow. I tell you guys sometimes. You heard me say this is a great big announcement. I have every My Pillow product there is. I mean, I've got them all, and I bought all of them with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, except the first My Pillow because they weren't with us when I got that first My Pillow over a decade ago. But if you only have one My Pillow product, it of course is the My Pillow. But second, people say, I tell you guys sometimes, some people will say, well, what's the second best? And I always say, like, the must-have is the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper. Now, the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper I've had it for years. It turns your entire bed into a My Pillow. And there's an incredible special going on right now with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And that is this. The 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper. Listen to this. With our promo code Kane at checkout, 30% off. You also get 2 free My Pillows with pillowcases and free shipping with our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. You get the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper, 30% off, 2 free My Pillows with My Pillow pillowcases, and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at mypillow.com. This is a huge sale. This is, Mother's Day is coming up. Guys, if you're married, get it for yourself and your wife. Your wife will love it. Get it for mom on her day. This is, and Father's Day will be here a month after Mother's Day. This is a huge sale. 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper, 30% off. You get 2 free My Pillows with pillowcases and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back.
Action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name? Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, hold on, Ray. Hold on. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yep, hold on.
6642. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sandra. I'm calling from Delray Beach. The Barry Siegel Law Group did such wonderful work for me, and I was very particular. I'm a professional myself, and I went to about 3 or 4 attorneys prior. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to add anything extra, but Barry tailored it to my needs. And it's not only the trust. There's so many other end-of-life documents, the living will, the will, and I tailored each one of them to my liking, and they were wonderful and always, always polite. And not only that, when you finish your documents and you leave this world, your beneficiaries can go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big deal. The Siegel Group is above and beyond any other attorney that I have ever contacted. Plus, they give you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 5.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. All right, you want to go back to the calls? Yeah, I know. We got to redeem our audience here. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Me?
Yes.
Sounds like you.
Good morning. It's Patricia from Massachusetts. I just have 2 questions. What do you think the chances of getting a census of just citizens before Trump leaves office?
Just citizens voting?
Just citizens in the census.
Oh, the citizens in the census? I don't know. That's a little, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
What do you think of the California oil, where all of their things leaving, refineries shutting down or leaving?
I saw a story a couple days ago. They're breaking ground on the first refinery built in 50 years in the United States.
In California?
I don't remember where it's at, but it's in the United States. Are you in California? Are you in California?
No, I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh.
It definitely has nothing to do with SFjr. I'm just watching California oil. I think they were getting some from Venezuela, and they get some from another foreign country. So that's why I was wondering why the refineries are shutting down. I think 3 of them.
Because if I don't know about refineries shutting down in California, but it would not surprise me because Gavin Newsom and the Democrats want to drive gas prices up, and if they shut down a refinery, that'll drive gas prices up. The prices of gas going up in the United States now, I've been saying this since last week, is price gouging. The gasoline at your gas station was refined with oil that was bought long before this conflict, and we don't get our oil from Iran anyway. So they're just raising the prices and blaming the war.
Yeah, we're in Massachusetts. It jumped up probably 30 cents.
Yeah.
And most of us know the reason why, but, the liberals up here will cry that, it's Trump and his unjustified...
See, people think that the oil companies are Republican. They're liberal. They're in with the liberals because when liberals do things that cause gas prices to go up, and if you're in the oil business, you want to sell your oil for as much as possible. So you do better. Same thing goes with the gun manufacturers. The gun manufacturers are with the Democrats too. When Democrats are in power, guns and ammo prices go up.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Going back to the census, if, let's just say, the SAVE Act doesn't go anywhere, would a new census with only citizens maybe help that along?
Well, it's not counting the non-citizens. They don't, what the Republicans want to do in a new census is not count the illegals towards congressional representation, right? So like California, they have, I don't know how many seats in Congress just because they count the illegals towards congressional representation. They want them counted in the census, but not towards congressional representation, which is all, and that's how the Electoral College works. However many House members you have in your state is how many Electoral College votes you have. So the move is not to count them. Correct.
We're hoping to get rid of Ayanna Pressley. We really feel like that would help with that.
Pressley is completely insane. You can see it in her face. And, when, Britney Spears, do you remember what Britney Spears did when everybody said she went nuts? And she is crazy. Remember what she did?
She shaved her head.
Correct! Just like Presley. I'm not kidding.
What did Britney Spears do?
Years ago, when people first realized Britney Spears was crazy, and she still is crazy if you see her lately, she shaved her head.
The other day.
Did she? Yeah, she shaved her head. And that's when she, and Presley, she shaved her head completely bald like years ago, 5 years ago. And you can see in her face, in her eyes, she's nuts. She's completely nuts. She's insane, just like Governor Whitmer in Michigan.
Yeah, she was one of the first ones to run down to Minnesota and stand proud with the Somalian frogs.
The Somali pirates. The Somalian pirates.
Yeah. Still waiting to see how that's
Well,
going to
thank you
come
for
out.
taking my call.
All right, appreciate the call. All right, take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
From Arizona.
Hey, Ray.
Raymond, what's up?
Steve, you doing good?
Yep.
Brian, my wife has got me hooked onto you.
Well, that's great.
Listened to you for
about the last 3 years or 4 years. We lived in Florida for a while. Now we've moved to Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
We listen to your podcast after the fact, and right now it's early enough in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Right beside me, and just wanted to say good morning to you guys and keep it up. We support Trump all the way, and we want to get our country back.
We will. With the Save America Act, we will.
Yeah, we got to. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We got to. Things that politicians have been doing and for the last years, well, decades, is just unconstitutional and killing the average Americans. And it needs to stop.
Well, and you know, the watch the liberals getting, the liberals are getting excited already today because a U.S. Tanker crashed, right? A refueling aircraft crashed and four airmen were killed. One of our plane, it was a crash. It was over Iraq. It was not shot down by Iran. Okay, it was some type of accident. The actual cause of the accident, as far as I see, has not been released yet. But it was an accident, unrelated. It was not shot down. But the liberals, you know, you're going to hear. Not in this. There's 4 deaths. It's a U.S. refueling aircraft. I haven't seen it released officially what the cause of the crash was, other than they said it was not shot down by by Iran. But watch when you hear liberals talk about this. There's a saying in broadcasting: smile in your voice. They're all going to have smiles in their voices because they think, oh, 4 deaths, American deaths, that'll turn the public against President Trump in this war, and the Ayatollahs can be back in power.
And I'm proud to have served in the armed forces.
And, you should be.
You know, the guys who put their lives on the line for us, I salute them.
You know, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Just, you know, you see all the accidents you have on I-95 any day of the week, and the military is dangerous, even if they're not, you know, involved in a combat operation. And I'm surprised there aren't more accidents and crashes with these refueling aircraft. That's crazy when I see that on television. I don't know how they do that.
Well, it's a feat that can get done. But Brian, thank you very much, and keep it up, man.
All right. All right, appreciate the call. Yeah. But you watch, they'll have smile in their voice. Caroline Leavitt said yesterday at the White House that there was no Iranian drone threat attack in California, that those were liberal lies. And she called on the media to retract their fake reporting on it. Yeah. So you see the left. I mean, this is like it must have been during Vietnam, Steve. The left are rooting for the enemy, celebrating anything that they could turn into a momentary victory for the enemy. They're really sick. I want to talk about Sloman's Home Security and their incredible offer. This is amazing. Sloman's Home Security has a free home security system offer with free professional installation and 24/7 central station monitoring. You get all that for $24.95 a month, and you're locked in at that price for 5 years. Just give them a call right now, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. Your Sloman's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3-door window sensors, a motion detector, notification, and remote keypad access so you can check in no matter where you're located. Again, give them a call no matter where you are, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center. South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Okay.
Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years.
All right, I just looked during the break, Steve. So this refueling aircraft went down, one of those tankers. 4 airmen killed, no hostile fire, no friendly fire, so we don't know what the exact cause was. But it was... No, 4 airmen killed. But it was 4 as of now. I mean, that's the latest reporting. But it wasn't shot down. It wasn't friendly fire. It wasn't hostile fire, although Iran has taken credit for it. So, whatever. They're going to take credit for it. Yeah. We're back. We are back. We're back.
I just wanted you to fill me in. I got confused yesterday. There was so much going on with the temple shooting. What the hell was going on there?
Another Islamic terror attack. That's what's going on. Well, what happened? The Islamic terrorist. It was reported he lost family members in Gaza. I guess his family were in Gaza fighting the Jews, and he did kill one guy who was a veteran, but yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the guys in the school captured him and they beat him to death and killed him. They beat him to death. They beat the terrorist to death. I'm not kidding. Yeah, they beat him to death. They killed him. Yeah, well, I guess, yeah. That's what it reminded me of the shoe bomber. Remember the shoe bomber? I can't remember the shoe bomber's name, but the shoe bomber. He tried to light his shoes on fire on an airplane. It was after 9/11, and the passengers jumped him. And I remember I flew to New York right after 9/11, like an idiot. I got a great deal though on the tickets, I'll tell you. And I remember I flew to Boston and New York, and I remember everybody would get on the plane, and this was true for a while after 9/11. Everybody would look at each other like, okay, if anything happens, you know what I mean? We're ready. Everybody was like that. Now, in studio, Jupiter, Joe Thomas. How you doing, Joe?
Great.
I was listening to... Steve, I want to put you on hold, Steve. While I talk to Joe, I was listening to your radio show yesterday. Right. And you were talking about things that were way above my head, but that's okay. You're the financial expert, not me, right? I'm not supposed to know. That's why people call you. But you were talking about Roths and IRAs and things like this, which I know very little about. And I would imagine most people don't, because you're the expert. You were talking about different tax implications and taking some part out and putting it here. And it's really, annuities are a lot more than just, okay, let me put some money in an annuity and forget about it.
Yeah. So the Roth conversion is a big deal. If you can convert your IRA or 401k to a Roth, it's a great thing to do. However, if you need income right away, it's not going to help you. And that's where these guys out there talking about it don't really give you enough information. All Roth does for you is tax-free your money for later income. So we can help you convert your IRA or 401k to a Roth and pay for it. So you don't have to worry about the taxes.
See, oh, wow, I like that part.
We have a bonus program that does that for you. Okay?
That's amazing.
It's a big deal. It really is.
I like that part about avoiding the taxes.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, I mean, you really need an expert. In this day, with my wife has a doctor, and he says everybody thinks they got the medical degree because they can go on Google.
Google it.
And you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. And the same thing goes with financial planning. People think because they can Google something or get some account on some website, it is so complex, everything that goes on, and you really need to have an expert like you walking you through it.
One thing I'm not worried about, a lot of people are going to be displaced with AI. I'm not worried about that. I've got to be honest with you, because there's so much intricacy with this stuff, and you got to know it. You either know it or you don't know it,
Well, what I thought, one of the things that when I was listening to your most recent show, by the way, I'm going to be on your show today. Okay. One of the things you were talking about, which is really important, you were talking about 401ks, and a few other types of accounts, brokerage accounts and such. And these are great, and you're accumulating money, but it's not generating you income. And you were talking about, because what we normally talk about is taking your investment account, taking your 401k, putting it in an annuity, but you were talking about taking part of your 401k, and putting it into, tell me a little bit about that.
So Jenny actually coined it to her, my daughter, carve out. We do a carve out, and we'll just take some of your money out now and start planning for retirement. Let's say you're 60 and you're not going to retire until you're 65 or 70. We'll start taking out a little bit of money now, set up these retirement accounts so that when you do retire fully, you'll have this money transitioning already.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it works great too.
So how does that work? If I have a 401k or an investment account that I want to take some of it, where 10%, 50%, 20%, how do you do that for me?
It's very easy. We just tell the company where your money is. Let's say it's with Fidelity or whoever managing it. We call them up and say, hey, we need $100,000. Send it over to us. And then what we do is we have a form that you sign. It's called the transfer form. And there's no tax, asset to asset. They send it from them to us, no tax.
But you handle that. I don't have to get on the phone with the company and do all that.
99% of the time we don't have to do, we do it by, us doing it for you. Once in a while we do have to get on the phone. Some of these companies are giving a hard time right now getting the money out because there's a lot of money being withdrawn. The market's very challenging, as we've talked about.
Yeah. One thing you were talking to me about recently is, interest rates are changing. There's going to be some big changes soon because we're getting a new Fed chair in. And a lot of these things, the high interest savings accounts, which these are amazing things in their time, but they're not going to be so beneficial to people coming up.
Yeah, they were, your rates were in the 5% range. A lot of people are kind of getting disappointed now because they're going to their local bank and it's 3%. But guess what? We're in the 6s. We have this one we're running right now, 5 years fixed, 6.3%. Take advantage of it. Lock in now to that rate. So
the high interest savings accounts are really about half the interest of what you're offering.
Yeah, I call them, they're not so high anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Well, listen, give Joe Thomas a call, and remember, it's a no-charge consultation, and you can do that consultation in person if you can make it into his office or on the phone or through Zoom or video call, and you're going to put together a custom proposal for people. So when you put together a custom proposal, because these aren't cookie-cutter things.
No, everybody's different. Your age, how much you need, what do you need, who are you leaving the money to? Every scenario is different. And that's what we take into account.
And one of the things with annuities, which I had no idea, is that you can actually leave the annuities to your kids.
Yeah. So that's the biggest fear people have is, am I disinheriting somebody? You don't want to disinherit anybody. You're not disinheriting anybody. Now, if you don't have kids, I have quite a few people down here in South Florida. They're single women, divorcees, whatever, and they don't worry about their husband or their kids. They need the money, so we take care of that. That's a specific need.
There you go. Well, listen, here's the number. Give Joe Thomas a call, 561-743-0999, 561-743-0999, and online, JupiterJoe.com. All right, Joe, I'll see you soon. All right, take care. All right, let's go. Oh, I lost Steve. I lost the connection to Steve. I might have hit dump instead of on hold. Do you have the number? Here, I'll give it to you right on the air. Write it down. No. It's right here, Mike. If it's this number here. It says SK. You're young. You can see it, right? Yeah. You give Steve a call. Put him on hold. Sometimes I hit the wrong button. That's okay. If you're on hold, stand by. The number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It is Open Mag and Mike Friday. We'll go back to the phones in just a moment. But I want to tell you guys, you've heard me talking to a lot of panicans on the phone today, and certainly panicking is not what you want to be doing. And I am very, very positive. And I was talking to a caller in the first hour. He didn't answer. Oh my goodness. I guess we'll try back in a minute. But let me take a call and then we'll figure it out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. Yes. Yeah, you're on the air. I can. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Brad. I'm calling from Florida. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine. I'm in Florida too.
Oh, yeah? Where about in Florida are you?
Oh, someplace. All right, what's on your mind? You called me. What's on your mind?
I am. Yeah, so basically, I mean, I don't know, I find it interesting you were speaking with finances with the other gentleman because, well, I just think that we are wasting money in this country ad nauseum, especially with Trump at the helm. And someone who is supposed to be conservative should be relegating our own
Yeah.
that we generate in this country back to this country rather than sending it over.
Where's it being sent?
Well, Israel.
No, that's not true.
How is that not true?
Can you check that line?
$3.8 billion.
Well, see, I don't. We do give foreign aid to Israel with a condition. Do you know what that condition is?
Explain.
Well, no, you said that we're sending money overseas to Israel. We shouldn't do that. So obviously you're an expert on it. Oh, okay. So you admit that your opinion is based on ignorance.
Generated by
Your tax money. Yeah.
people.
Okay. Let me give you some information. Okay. We give money in foreign aid to Israel with one major condition, and this is the condition. Okay. They have to spend it in the United States.
That doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does. Because it benefits the economy, right? Like they use it to buy planes and other weapons, but they have to buy them from us.
Sure, but they don't defend the United States with those planes. They defend themselves.
They're our ally.
Not on paper, they're not.
Sure they are. By the way, you said red-blooded Americans. What kind of Americans don't have red blood?
Okay, you know that it's just saying, all right?
Oh, no, you said red-blooded Americans. I just, what? No. Hold on a second. You said red-blooded Americans. So who are these other Americans? Who are these other Americans?
People who were born in this nation. Do you know what that means? I mean,
Oh, okay.
citizens of this country.
Okay, all right. So, this is an interesting thing because you're very concerned with foreign aid being given to Israel, which I told you they have. Well, hold on a second. Hold on. And I just told you they have to spend all the money in the United States. So the money doesn't leave the country.
Countries.
Oh, now it's all countries. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, listen. I'm going to run because I'm up against a break. Oh, okay. There we go. Yes. Boy, I guess I'm not a red-blooded American. Oh boy, nice guy. All right, we're going to take our break. We'll come back with the gold report. I'll try to get Steve back on the line. We've been having phone problems dialing out today, and that's been part of the problem. All right. So if you're on hold, hang in there. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Delivered morning 6 to 9 right
Hello?
on The Steve Kane Show. Tom Laporta here from Laporta Roofing. Happy New Year, health, wealth, and happiness, and may 2026 be your best year. The first quarter of each year is the slowest for roofing temperatures across Florida due to the lack of rain, vacationers, and recuperating from the holiday spend.
Yeah, we've been having phone problems dialing out at the radio station, that's all. Okay, hold on. We're going to come back with the gold report, okay? Hold on. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, hold on. I got Steve. I'll call Youngerman. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Can't get Youngerman?
Deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used.
What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane.
All right, we're back. We're having all kinds of phone problems, Steve. So I don't have William Youngerman on the line, and we could talk about William Youngerman a little bit. I don't even have the gold prices because we're having so much trouble with that. So I'll fumble around for the price of gold while we're talking. Is that okay? All right. It'll have to do. I can't get Young. No, we've been on the air. We just couldn't get you on the air. That's all. We've been on the air, and I just can't get Youngerman on the line for the gold report. But that's okay. We'll do the gold prices with me. You know, William Youngerman has been with us on this program, I don't know for how many years, but if you want to, at least, if you want to know the exact, well, if you want to know the exact date, he came on a week after Hurricane Wilma. And the reason I remember that is because after Hurricane Wilma, there was no electricity, and you couldn't do any banking. But William Youngerman was open still, even though all the banks were closed. Even the bank across the lobby from him, because there was no electricity, he was open, and people were doing commerce with gold and silver. It was crazy. Gold, right now, gold is down $5, and currently is at $5,120.80. Can you believe that? That's amazing. I mean, it's down $5, but it's at $5,120.80. I feel kind of odd saying down. I mean, that's when I look at these numbers of the metals these days, Steve, it blows my mind. It really does, doesn't it? It's hard to believe they're real, but they are, and that's how great gold is. Silver is down 80 cents and is at $84.22. 84. Yeah, there's William Youngerman right there. So we're going to have William Youngerman, and the price has just fluctuated since I said that. So you put him on hold, and we'll go to him. All right, we got you, William Youngerman. We have on the line the professional gold report from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated. William Youngerman. Good morning, William.
Nicely giving us a buying opportunity. Gold getting down closer to the $5,000 number. The market's traded in a range of $5,054 on the low to $5,193 on the high for gold, and closed out the day down $96.80 at $5,078.40 the ounce. The silver was down $1.89 at $83.74, while platinum lost $38 at $21.29, and palladium was down $13 at $16.06. Overnight, we saw gold trading in the range of $5,061 on the low to $5,129 on the high. And right now, we're at $5,110 on gold. That's up $31.60 right now. Silver up 12 cents at $83.85. Platinum down $36 at $2,093. And palladium down $6 at $1,600. So the sideways action continues on most of the metals, leaning towards the lower end of the trading range that we've seen for a while. So take advantage of this dip. It may not last too long.
Yeah, and the way I always describe that is you got a little bit of a sale going on there, and this is the time. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, over near Meisner Park. You can give them a call, toll-free, 800-327-5010, 800-327-5010, and find both his address and phone number online at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday. All right, take care, take care. All right, we've had a rough time on the phones, but that's okay. Every once in a while, we get to prove to the audience we are indeed live. All right, let's go back to the phones, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, Alan.
Yeah. Hurricane Wilma was 2005, late October.
Oh, so we're approaching our 21st anniversary with William Youngerman.
Yeah. Hey, what I was going to say is these House Republicans that keep resigning, it should just emphasize how much they're just in it for them, for themselves, and not for the people they represent.
Well, I think a lot of them are being bought off, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're being bought off, is what's happening in some instances. In the last 6 years, her fortune has increased by her net worth by $20 million.
You have any idea whose pocket she's in?
I don't know who specifically, but she's made $20 million in the last 5 or 6 years in Congress. So she's in somebody's helping her out.
I'll take that job.
And to add to it, I think the Republican Party in Georgia are a bunch of morons. Because
yes,
Republicans against each other, they can't get to the 50% mark. And then in the next special election, which costs fortune, the Democrat comes in because people are just tired of it.
This is what, listen, like, you know, I used to be a big fan of the X-Files, and they were always, the secret government and all this stuff. Really, the secret government, there's a variety of different groups, but one of the biggest are the donors. And Congress, in particular the House of Representatives, think about it. Every 2 years, they're up for re-election, the whole House, right? So they're under constant pressure. They are owned by the donors, and they control everything they do. They control what they wear, what time they wake up, what time they go to bed. No, the Republicans too, that are in the House of Representatives oftentimes. And they control everything they do. They're just all on the take. There's very few. That's one of the things they hate about Trump.
Right. Well, the difference with the Democrats is they get all that, but they don't resign.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my beef for today.
All right. Well, it's a good one. It's a good one. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you? Just wanted to really express my sympathies to the families of the members of that air refueling tank crew that crashed in Iraq. You know, it takes a special person, I think, to perform that type of Air Force operation. You know, you're carrying a lot of fuel. It's not an easy thing to do. You got to reduce speed, things like that. It's they really deserve a lot of credit for how they keep our Air Force up in the air and perform all the.
I haven't seen it reported yet what caused the crash. Have you? Maybe it's broken. Have they said no?
No, I haven't seen it. You know that. They make it look easy. That's not an easy thing to do. And you are, I think, in a vulnerable position when you actually do the refueling. But you know, that's a difficult one. And without those refueling tankers, we can keep these guys up like I think 24 hours. But the guys who perform that function, they do the credit. So
oh yeah.
The families of that, yeah.
Yeah.
That is not an easy thing to do.
Nope. And you know that the liberals and media today are very excited because they more American service personnel dead, even though the Iranians didn't do it. You know, remember somebody asked President Trump the other day, "How many Americans are you prepared to lose before you leave Iran?" I thought, what? Well, 6 people got killed. It's sad, but come on. We're going to surrender over a dozen people? I don't think so.
The left has made a serious miscalculation. When our military is in battle, this country loves them. and keeps them close to their heart. And when when they're happy that something happens like this, it really goes against them. I think you see it reflected in the polls. And people won't forget this. When our military is in harm's way, we stand.
That's right. See, now this is one of the things that's different, okay? Usually when there's a military operation going on, there's always debate during the buildup, but there was no buildup to this. And there's been a gentleman's agreement that conservatives have always stood by. The debate ends once boots are on the ground. And I understand this has been an air war, but that's just a phrase. That's boots on the ground, right? And the Republicans, we've got these fake MAGA Republicans like Tucker Carlson, Megan Tokyo Rose Kelly, and a couple of other pieces of work that are out there attacking the war effort while the fighting's going on. It's disgusting.
Made a serious miscalculation too, because I think their podcasts are going to really suffer dramatically.
Well, Ted Cruz in an interview said yesterday that he supported an investigation into if anyone's paying Tucker.
Rumors, you hear rumors out there.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for this, which would make it even worse.
Mm-hmm. All right, listen, I got to run. We're running towards the end, but take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, speak up. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes. All right, Shannon in Alabama. What's up, Alabama? There we go.
I do listen to your show from time to time. I work at a corporation, and it's a car manufacturer in the area in northern Alabama. And we have policy that allows transgender women and regular people have to go to the bathroom in the admin building, which is like a 20-minute walk. I just think that's really messed up.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? It's a private company.
It's a private company, I get that.
They have it. What do you mean? You can use, like, if you want to, you can go to the ladies' room?
Yes, if I'm a biological male and I want to go to a female bathroom and I just say, hey, I'm a female today, at this moment, you can just go in there and use it.
I would have loved that in high school.
No, they do this all the time.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Sir, excuse me, is this your biggest problem in life?
What do you...
The biggest problem in life is just...
Well, then what are you bothering us with this trivial nonsense?
You're afraid a woman will be in the men's room when you're at the urinal?
No,
you can do better than that.
The women at the company are mad because biological men are coming into the bathroom.
Well, first of all, have you been... Okay, I want to slow down for a second. Have you been in... I'm not in support of this. Don't misunderstand I'm about to tell you, okay? But there's a big difference in the ladies' room and the men's room. Do you know what the difference is, caller?
Do I know what the difference is?
Yeah, when you go into the men's room, there's something in the men's room that they don't have in the ladies' room.
Urinal.
Correct. Every stall in the ladies' room is private.
Well, I don't agree with that.
It is. No, it's private. They have walls up. It's like a stall. They don't have urinals. So what the women at your company have to do, if what you told us is true, is they just have to take somebody in there with them and they'll be cool. I don't support it, but if that's the way it is, a woman should not go unescorted without another woman into the ladies' room, and she can stand out the door of her stall and make sure some creepy guy isn't checking her out.
Okay, well, I work in manufacturing, so that's not even possible.
Okay, all right. Well, I got to run. We're towards the end of the show. I don't know if I even believe that story's true. I think that's a liberal trying to get us to hate on trans people. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah, it didn't sound like a real thing. I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Before Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I thought losing weight would be impossible, and not only is it possible, not only does Coastal Weight Loss Secret and their system work, I've kept all of the weight off. And whether you want to lose 25 pounds or 565 pounds or anywhere in between, call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I lost all this weight. I kept it off. No exercise. Didn't starve myself. Ate foods I would normally eat. Did I say no exercise other than my mouth on the air here? That's it. And I've kept all the weight off. Oh, yeah. I never felt hungry either because I wasn't starving myself. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call no matter where you're located. Set up your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300, 561-247-6300, and online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We only have 30 seconds, but a lot of I was kind of dismissive with that guy is he was full of it. He was some liberal guy pretending to have some bathroom issue, thinking we're some MAGA crazies that are going to start hating on trans people. And I'm just not going to play around with some cosplay caller. You know what I mean? All right, that's all the... Exactly. We're out of time for the week. We'll be back tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. We'll be back Monday at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian. We'll see you Monday, 6 a.m. Take care.
WQAM 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I got to get out of the way for the next show. All right, take care.